What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing our August horror movie haul. There are other titles in here, but let's dive into it. Now, just a heads up, guys, I have some movies in here that I got from the Dollar Tree, but I did not do a separate Dollar Tree haul video, which maybe I should have, but I feel like this will be a big video for a lot of the movies that we have got for the month of August. So some of these you might still be able to find at the Dollar Tree, but I didn't have time to put up a video for it. Now, some of these movies we're going to be giving away. We put them in our giveaway box that we give out. We haven't done one for a long time. If you've been listening to the podcast, which you can go to longlivethevoid.com to check out any of the places you can listen to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast, where we do reviews, make up horror movies, have guests on, interviews with directors and writers and programmers and things like that. But we do a giveaway for those who sign up for our VIP club, which is an emailer. So if you want to sign up, we're going to be giving away one this next week. So you might want to sign up right now. We'll post pictures about it later. First up, bam, we got Scary Stories, which is essentially a documentary about the scary stories to tell in the dark and how it came about and everything. We're going to be giving away one of these in our box sets in the future. Link is down below. But yeah, this was a decent documentary. It was a little different than I expected, but it's still cool to kind of know about it because I remember reading these when I was a kid and it was a big deal. We even did an episode where we talked about the new movie and like how it connects to the stories, where we read all the books and everything. So pretty cool. Up next, we got Garden Tool Massacre, which a lot of you may not even know what it is. And that's okay. This is a British film, I believe, that was a shot on video in 1990 that has not been seen by many people. And they put out 100 copies to sell. And I happened to pick up one of these. I believe it was 100, maybe 200. I've not seen this yet, but we are talking about doing it in an episode with the Wood Chipper Massacre, because tools, you know, that, or maybe Killing Spree or something like that. But if you're a fan of shot on video, this is probably going to be very rare to find. And I picked it up because why not? I'd like to check it out, and eventually somebody will be looking for this. Glad they made a reprint of it so that people can have it. Have you seen this movie? It also came with a poster of the actual cover. So that's pretty cool. So I'll be putting that up soon. But yeah, Garden Tool Massacre. What do you guys think? Up next, we got Murder Party, which if you have not seen this movie, you really need to. This was in the Dollar Tree. I thought it was an excellent deal, of course. I have a copy already that I bought probably for like 10. If you haven't seen this, you should really check it out because this is one of Jeremy Saulnier's, or Saulnier's, I'm not sure. He did Green Room and Blue Ruin. This is a comedy that is super creative, has some early appearances by some later actors who were in Blue Ruin as well. He did a really good job on this film, and if you're a fan of it, please shout out in the comment section. It's gory, it's funny, it's got a lot of really good qualities about it for an indie film. It's what you should do with an indie film. I think you should check it out. So if you see this at your Dollar Tree, pick it up.
Everybody dies.
Oh, and don't forget, this is going in the giveaway box, so at some point you could win this. Up next, we got Bad Milo, which is not a great movie, but it's not a bad movie either. And it's a comedy movie that is about a butt monster that climbs out of this dude's ass. And, I mean, you get people like Peter Stormage in here. Why is he in this movie? I don't know, but it's a unique experience nonetheless. This ass demon comes out of his ass, and yeah, hilarity ensues. Whether it's funny enough to you or not, that's debatable, but I still think it was worth getting a Blu-ray copy to replace my DVD copies, so I'll be giving away one of the DVD copies as well. Up next, we got Severance, and this is actually not a bad movie. It's a comedy as well. It's a special edition. I have a couple of copies of these that I want to give away, and I feel like it's good enough to be able to give away. I tried to pick some stuff that, is good, so it's not just me dumping off my trash into your guys' mailbox or whatever, but we will be giving this one away. This is like a group of people go to like some sort of work retreat and find out that they're basically getting severance to leave their jobs, and people start dying. It's been a while since I've seen this, but not a bad film that I recall. It wasn't a bad one at all. So have you seen this? Up next, we got Demon Hunter. Now this looks ridiculous. Says the war for your soul has begun. Now this is obviously an indie film, but you take risks. It's a Wild Eye releasing film. I haven't checked it out yet, and this was at the Dollar Tree. Have you guys seen this movie? Should I put this on the list to watch soon? Up next, we got The Church. No, not that church, not the Michelle Soavi, if you want to say it properly, I guess. This has Bill Moseley, Ashley C. Williams. You even have Clint Howard in this. I've never seen this. I like the original Church movie. I don't know what to expect from this one. Interesting to make a horror movie in a church, that's for sure. So I'm always down to check it out, especially when I can get it at the Dollar Tree for $1. Dominion. The Exorcist. This is the prequel to The Exorcist, of course. This one I remember having a really fucked up dog scene where they like tear all the people up. But this is the widescreen edition DVD that we found at the Dollar Tree. I don't remember this being too bad of a movie. It's an okay one in the franchise. The franchise isn't exactly flawless or anything like that. But they got some stuff that's pretty cool in it. Some scenes that are good, some aren't. But, this is one that I figured I'd give away as well since we have extra copy. So,
Holy Trinity, one God, have mercy on us.
You're a weak vessel.
up next, we got Clown Town. Now, I've seen this floating around on the internet a few times, and it says a group of friends get stranded in a seemingly abandoned town and find themselves stalked by a violent gang of psychopaths dressed as clowns. Now, I haven't seen this. I did recall some people mentioning this or seeing a few reviews of it. This was at the Dollar Tree, so we figured we'd take a chance on it. Have you guys seen it? Would you recommend it? Let me know. Up next, we got the Belko Experiment. Now, we have a couple of these that we're going to be giving away, including this copy in the future. I love this movie. I think it's a really weird, odd mix of comedy, dark comedy, and like serious thriller. It's about an office group of people who are forced to kill each other or they get killed. And it's a pretty crazy story that was written by James Gunn. I think this is an underrated film. I think it gets too much shit for how awesome it is. I mean, you get so many people in this. They're all really crazy, and there's some scenes that make you go, oh my God, why? Why would they do this? I think this is a good movie. We'll be giving one away. We found it at the Dollar Tree. Up next, we got the Snarling. The Snarling. Obviously a werewolf film, if you can see it here. Sorry, the glare. I've never seen this. It says, in a rural village, the cast and crew of a horror film find themselves accused of a rash of savage murders when the cursed movie they are making is connected by police to several gruesome slayings, seemingly committed by some sort of monster. While the locals intervene in the production for their own gain and detectives try to pin the deaths on the filmmakers, the body counts grow as the unstoppable beast remains on the loose. So I've never seen this. It looks and sounds kind of silly, but who knows? Maybe it's good. We got it for $1. Up next, we got The Crescent, which I got 2 copies of, and it includes Hindsight and Memory, if you see here. So it's got 2 extra bonus movies in it along with The Crescent, which I have never seen. I have no idea. Beth, a painter, and her toddler son, Lowen, retreat to a solitude of a remote seaside cottage after a death in the family as 2 attempt to rebuild their lives. Strange residents of Crescent Beach know their presence. It's a transcendent look at a loss, grief, and single parenting told through the entrance art of paper marbling and eyes of a 2-year-old. Interesting. Do not know about it. Never seen it. Figured, hey, there's 3 movies in each, so at least we'll give one away of these. We got both of these for $1 a piece. So let me know if you've seen this one. I'm really curious. Up next, we got Playback. We got 2 copies of this. I have never seen this, but I remember seeing it on the shelves. But it's got Christian Slater in it. He's not done too bad lately. So maybe this is actually pretty good and I missed out on it. But we'll be giving away one of these. $1 a piece we got them for at the Dollar Tree, so you might be able to find it there for yourselves. What did you think?
Look at the camera.
Up next, we got some other stuff. This wasn't at the Dollar Tree, but it was at the dollar store, and it is Beyond Skyline. Now, I'm a fan of the first Skyline. I actually, aside the stupid nose thing that he keeps touching her nose, if you've seen the movie, you're probably annoyed with that part too. It's actually pretty cool. Seeing a bunch of monsters roaming around the earth, destroying everything and sucking up people's souls and stuff is actually pretty cool. And I don't know, I liked the first movie. I watched this one. This isn't nearly as good as the first, but it's better than I expected. Let's put it that way. Have you seen it? I think there might even be a third one. I remember getting excited about this coming out, and it's nowhere near as good as I was hoping. Still cool, I guess. I wanted to have it to just have it, so maybe I'll pop it on if I'm ever in the mood. Up next, we got Holidays. This is an anthology film that we've done an episode on the podcast for. This is actually a really cool sort of anthology, you know, theming around every holiday. And there's a lot of really cool shorts in here. One that I always remember is the Geester Bunny one, which is pretty frightening, where they mix Jesus and an Easter Bunny into one really fucking creepy thing. I would highly recommend picking this up if you see it at the Dollar Tree. This is my copy. Been wanting to get this anyway, and I think this is you can only get it on DVD. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm fine with this. We got it for $1. Okay, now we're actually down to the last stack, guys. I'm trying to rush through this, so it's not too long for you guys. Pretty cool stuff we got here. I got the Bronson Collection here, which is Death Wish 2, 3, and 4. I actually just ordered Death Wish 2, so it's funny that I actually got this for $5 at the Big Lots. They have some Dollar Tree items in there sometimes, so you always want to check your Dollar Tree first before you go buying from them. But occasionally they'll have stuff like this that you can pick up for like $5 or $3. It used to be that they were all $3. Now they're getting smart, and they're taking the Dollar Tree items and marking it up, so they're making even more money. But I always suggest going to the Dollar Tree first. But for $5, you get 3 movies. Even if I have one, I'm still getting 2 extra movies that I wouldn't want to buy separately anyway. Any of you guys fans of this? Let me know. All right, up next, we got some movies that I've never seen, but I've seen kind of bouncing around. This one's The Curse of Robert. Now, I don't remember if there was one before this, but I'll have to, check. But it's this creepy-ass fucking doll. And they had this one and Robert and the Toy Maker, which is the one after, I guess, because this is 2017. It says there's a new puppet master in town. So we got both of these. I never actually checked these out. Do you guys think these are worth watching, or are they whatever? I mean, for $1 each, I mean, why not? Maybe I'll watch another one of them if there's another one before this. But I think there was one called Robert the Doll, and I can't remember if we got one of those or not. I'll have to check. Up next, we got The 11th Commandment. Now, this is a movie that was sent to me by Vinegar Syndrome to review, so I still need to review. In fact, the next 2 more are from them as well. So thank you, Vinegar Syndrome, for sending these out to us to review. I'm going to be checking them out. Some of these are like thriller horrors, so that I've never seen. Now, I've seen this on the shelf. I remember seeing it when I was a kid. This is a 80s film. 87, about a guy who is committed to an insane asylum, and he gets out and he dresses up like a priest or something like that, and then just goes around killing everybody. This is called The 11th Commandment. I'm definitely curious to check this out because, you know, I just like weird 80s movies, and finding a few gems here and there that'll make me laugh, or maybe so bad it's good, I'll fucking eat up like crazy. Have you guys seen this one yet? Have you picked it up from Vinegar Syndrome yet? Let me know if you want me to do a review of this soon, because I'm thinking about maybe we'll do it next week with another one.
May I please have my Bible?
No.
disturbs you. Now, get those clothes off.
The next one we got from Vinegar Syndrome is The Caller. And this comes with Malcolm McDowell and Madeline Smith. And this is kind of like a thriller movie. I've heard that it's actually really good. Everyone that's reviewed it, I was like just checking out to see what they thought of this movie because I couldn't really find a trailer. I think some of these are like don't have trailers, but this is also from 1987. And it's about a woman living alone in the middle of the wood receives an unexpected visitor, a mysterious middle-aged man who asks to use her phone. She obliges him and soon becomes apparent that they might know more about each other than they are letting on. As hours and the days pass, the two become engaged in a series of bizarre, sinister mind games, uncovering unnerving secrets along the way. All the while, the ongoing confrontation begs the question of what mysterious events are transpiring in the nearby woods. Now, this is another Vinegar Syndrome, of course, like I said. I have not seen it. I'm curious to check it out. It's kind of a thriller horror sort of movie. Malcolm McDowell, early stuff, so I'm curious to check it out. Have you guys seen this one? And another one from Vinegar Syndrome that they sent out called Perfect Strangers, in Love, in Danger. Now, this one's about a mafia contract killer. Johnny has completed his last hit. However, he's preparing to leave the scene of the crime. He notices that someone is watching. The witness turns out to be a young child, but Johnny is uncertain as to how much he's seen and how much he'll be able to describe. Proceeding cautiously, he begins a dangerous seduction of the child's single mother, but soon discovers that his budding affair puts both himself and the new lover in ever increasing danger. This is also from the 80s, from 1984 actually, and I've never seen this one either. So Vinegar Syndrome, thank you very much for sending these out. I'm definitely curious to review these. I think this one might be better to pair with the Malcolm McDowell, The Caller, and then do the 11th Commandment with another like priest killer or something like that. So we'll be doing that on the podcast for sure, and if not there, we'll do it here on the YouTube. So have you guys seen this? Let me know. Up next, we got a multi-pack here. Now, I hate multi-packs sometimes because, you know, you never know where you're going to put them on your shelf when you're a collector. So, like, you have this entirely other section of, like, multi-pack stuff that it's just, like, you never know. And, I don't know, I use an app that I track all my movies with, and they separate all the movies that are in here. But this one is Croczella. Japan was just the appetizer, it says. This comes with Croczella, Attack of the Giant Leeches, Piranha, the Giant Gila Monster, Creature, Voyage to the Prehistoric Planet, The Phantom from 10,000 Leagues, and The Killer Shrews. 7 bonus movies, so 8 movies total. We got this for $1 at the Dollar Tree. I mean, you can't beat that price.
All my money is inside the crocodile!
We're getting down there, guys. Not too many more left. Up next, we got Killers Within. Now, I've never seen this, but it looks like some sort of hybrid people or something, you know? Like there's some sort of snake person or something. It says, with her son being held captive by a criminal gang, police officer Amanda Doyle, together with her ex-husband and 3 unlikely allies, take part in a desperate plot to hold a wealthy banker and his family ransom. But this is no ordinary family. And as the story unfolds, it becomes clear that the hunters have become the hunted. It's a fight for survival, and it's kill or be killed. I don't know what I think about this. I'll be honest, I have no fucking clue. Have you guys heard of this movie? Have you seen it? I'm not familiar with it, but it came with a slipcover for $1. So why not? Ooh, boy, this is one of my favorite movies. Up next, we got Terrified. Now, this is a Shudder release. So if you've subscribed to Shudder before or are currently subscribed, you can watch this movie on their part of their subscription. Now, this is one of my favorite movies in 2018. I think it was 2018. This movie came out in 2017, but it got picked up by Shudder at one of the festivals, and then they put it up as one of their originals on the service. And what a fucking great movie this is. In fact, it was so good that Guillermo del Toro actually is going to be producing the remake of this movie with the same director, just with more money. Now, I'm a little torn by that because I think this movie, as an independent film, has a lot in it. There is scenes in this movie that are just some of the most effective, frightening, elephant in the room type horror that I've ever seen. Granted, some of the CGI in this is a little shoddy, but for what they did in an independent film, the acting and the scares and everything are just really great. There is a scene in this movie with a dead kid that's moving sort of, but not really, only when they're not looking. And it is one of the most effective scenes I've ever seen. I called these guys masters of suspense because these guys, holy shit. I was so blown away by this movie, and it finally came out on Blu-ray for $15. I picked it up on pre-order immediately, and you can too if you're a fan of this movie. So very glad to be adding this to my collection. Now, this does not have any extras that I know of in here. It's pretty much just the movie, which is a little disappointing. But in the same regard, I wanted to have this physical because digital, we don't know. Sometimes maybe it won't be around. I don't know. I have it here in case the new remake puts and buries this one, like sort of like how Record was, you know, when that came out, the remake for that as well. But I'm curious to see the new one. Are you guys fans of this movie? Do you love it as much as me? Let me know.
¿Qué es lo que está pasando, chiquito? Eternos. ¿Qué es lo que te trajo hasta acá?
Oh, yeah. So we got some good stuff here. Now, I'm really happy about this. I have a copy of this movie already, and we've been giving these away in a lot of our box set. But we have 2 copies of The Signal. We have one Blu-ray and one DVD. The DVD has this really cool lenticular cover, which I actually have a copy of for myself because I just am such a fan of this movie. But I also found a Blu-ray for it for $3 at Big Lots. So we got the one at the Dollar Tree, which has been at just about every week. Grab every single copy every single time we see it at the store because I love the movie. This is another independent film about a signal that comes through the phones and the television and everything, and it makes people go crazy. And in fact, this is an anthology of 3 different stories from 3 different directors who were all friends and worked on the same film with one singular plot line. So they directed 3 segments of this film with 3 different tones. Really wish they would make a sequel for this. If you've known me for a while, you know I always point this out. Some people love it after my suggestions. Some people are like, it's okay. I think it's great. We'll be giving away both of these. So if you want to sign up for the VIP club, do it now. Up next, classic Return of the Living Dead. Matter of fact, I got an episode that I did with some guys called Movie of the Year. We talked about this movie, and this is a classic. Now, it's on DVD, but classic's a classic. And this is like one of the Walmart covers that they used to do. So we picked this up at the Dollar Tree for $1. Figured we'd give it away anyway, because why not? It's a great movie. Up next, we got The Banished, which I have not seen. It says Nobody is Innocent. October 1992. Londoner Jane Darcy travels to Greenville, New York, to claim the remains of her mother, Emma Gray, who died from a brain aneurysm. She encounters Christopher Dodd, a twisted man with a deep connection to her late mother, and Sheriff Miranda Lacey, his fierce protector. An evil secret wrought with Jane's grandmother, Mary's guilt from an illicit affair with a local priest decades earlier, has savage repercussions. It's only when Jane sees Christopher's ceremoniously burning Emma's things in a raging fire he set in a rusted-out silo that the full extent of the evil comes to light. Now, I've never seen this, but came with a slipcover, and I figured I'd give it a shot. Have you guys seen this movie? We picked it up for $1.
Hallowed be thy name.
Light and air. Thy kingdom.
Come, and I will be forgive and forgive us our trespasses.
Almost done, guys, I promise. So we got the gift here, which we picked up on clearance for $2.50 at the Big Lots. It was $5. This isn't a bad movie at all. I actually kind of enjoyed this. It's like a thriller movie where like a guest comes over to the house and then like won't leave. He like comes up out of nowhere, and then you find out this history about this guy and like why it's happening. So you don't really know who's the good guy or the bad guy kind of thing. but it's always kind of creepy when you have somebody stalking, like a home invasion sort of feeling. You know, you got Jason Bateman, Rebecca Hall, Joel Edgerton. So it's a pretty decent movie for $2.50. I definitely wanted to pick it up because it's not a bad watch. Up next, we got Saltwater Atomic Shark. I have no idea, but Christina is a big fan of like these crazy, silly shark movies that I don't know why, but she just is. Ever since Sharknado, she's just been a fan, and she picked this up. I have no idea, but I guess it's about a radioactive shark. Saltwater Atomic Shark. Seems like it's pretty self-explanatory. Have you heard of it? Have you seen it? We picked it up for $1 at the Dollar Tree.
This time, it's nuclear.
Up next, we got Night of the Living Dead with 5 bonus movies. Those 5 bonus movies are House on Haunted Hill from 1959. Great movie, even today. Dementia 13 from 1963, which we actually have a copy of. We also got Night of Bloody Horror from 1969. The Brain That Wouldn't Die, and Nosferatu 1922, the German thing. So this is just kind of a cool one to have. I figured for $1, why not pick it up? You know, I do have a copy of Night of the Living Dead, and a lot of these I do own, but you know, it's classics. Why not pick it up for $1? Maybe I'll give it away. If you guys want it, let me know. All right, we're down to the last 3. So we got the Shadow Man, which looks like a secondhand Slender Man, if you ask me. It says the nightmare begins when you wake. So maybe this was like someone's attempt to make a Slender Man type movie, but they couldn't use his visage or whatever, so they put a hat on him or something. I don't know. It says based on the infamous Shadow Man legend, so I guess maybe not. A newly wed photographer is stalked by a dark man in a brim hat who follows her for her nightmares into reality. Sanity slipping, she meets a mysterious man claiming to know the shocking secrets. Oh, it's the Hat Man. Okay, so I've heard of that before. It can happen to anyone. It can happen to you. So yeah, I might be actually interested to check this out. They made a game about that, and I think I played it once on stream. So have you guys seen this one, though? Is it any good? We picked it up for $1. Let me know. All right, last 2. We got Scream at the Devil. Seems like there's a lot of these exorcism movies that have been coming out over the last 10, 15 years. And my God, man, this is no exception. I haven't seen this one. It looks like a pretty decent cover. You know, you always got someone like contorted on the front, doing some weird shit. And then, yeah, in their hair or something like that. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to check it out. It says that the devil comes out to take his promised due when Miriam Jones, a schizophrenic woman, is pushed over the edge by her husband's illicit affairs. Her hallucinations become an insane reality, an exorcism of the mind. Have you guys seen this? I mean, $1.
It's crazy, man. Look at it, man.
Someone had to be involved.
Last movie of the bunch, we got House of Salem. Will you come out to play, it says. I have never heard of this movie, but who knows? Maybe it's got some pretty cool stuff in it. It says a group of kidnappers become a child's unlikely protectors after discovering they have unwittingly been set up to take part of a satanic ritual. As they begin to uncover the truth of the house, they find themselves trapped. They must battle demonic forces and cover a legacy of over 100 years of murder in the name of the devil. And this actually comes with the deleted footage. But, you know, some of the pictures on the back actually look kind of creepy. Can't speak for the acting, but the visuals look pretty decent, so maybe it's not so bad.
The next day.
I don't know. I'll check it out.
And that's it, guys. So we actually finished a pretty large stack there. It's about 30 movies or so. I don't know. Probably more. I don't know. We get so much sometimes that I don't even know if we'll ever be able to finish all of this shit over here. If you see this shelf over here on the left, that's the extras. And we have extras out in the living room. And we have extras on this shelf. So we got a lot of work to do and not enough fucking time. So let me know what you guys think I should or should not watch, review or not review. in the comment section down below. Really appreciate you guys coming by and supporting the channel. We do have some reviews coming up here, and as you know, we don't do the podcast on YouTube anymore, even though I wish we could. So if you want to help support, please do like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, do a circle, do a backflip, whatever you need. But thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate that you spent it with me. And as always, long live the void.